All right, I am here with John Rickgarn. Hey, John.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Not that's bad.
Good. So, John is actually a real estate agent out of Minnesota, but you're an investor-friendly realtor.
Yes.
Yes? Yeah.
Yes. I'm actually an investor myself. I
Nice.
kind of introduced myself as an investor, educator, and realtor. I have properties across multiple states from Minnesota, obviously, where I live, but Arizona, Tennessee, and Alabama as well.
Nice.
Be an investor that's looking for like a fix and flip deal, or my favorite, just a cash flow property where the numbers make
Hmm.
sense. I can really kind of help sit down, see what they're looking for, what areas might be best, and what properties can, you know, fit as well. And even on the
Nice.
exit strategies, a lot of people are just thinking, well, if I sell, I might get hit with a big tax bill. It's like,
Right.
well, not necessarily. There's 1031 exchanges, there's, Delaware statutory trust. You can
Mhm.
do seller, carry back financing,
Mhm.
contract for deed. There's a lot of other avenues. And granted, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a CPA, but I
Right.
can,
But you're a
certainly kind of,
realtor. Yeah.
yeah, kind of certainly put little nuggets in people's heads to make them think about taxes a little differently. So,
Well, and you'll know like the people to connect to too. So I think and that's I think what's going to bring us to this conversation today is that as an investor heavy agent and investor yourself, you're also passionate about financial freedom and the financial
mhm,
literacy of the whole process as evidenced by your introduction. Uh,
right.
yeah, but you had like a really, so we've all heard about like Dave Ramsey and financial education and getting out of debt, but your take on it was, I thought, really interesting. Do you mind sharing it with everybody?
Sure. And not to bash Dave Ramsey, but he kind of pulls all debt together, like all debt is bad, debt bad, blah, blah, blah. But
Hmm.
there really can be good debt versus bad debt.
Hmm.
I think Robert Kiyosaki, author Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a favorite book of
Yeah,
mine.
I love that book.
Uh, yep.
And the game. Have you played the game?
Yep, played it multiple times, got the computer version and the little board game as well. So
Oh, fun. Nice.
but yeah, Robert's always said, good debt puts money in your pocket, bad debt takes money out of your pocket. So
Okay.
yes, if you're one to, I'm going to take my credit card, I'm going to eat out at fancy restaurants, 3 meals a day, 365 days a year at
Hmm.
29% interest and only pay the minimum payment. Yeah, that's kind of bad.
That's
But,
that's it. Yeah.
when it comes to investments, especially if you can say borrow money at 3%, but then invest that money to earn 6, 9, 12%,
Hmm.
in the financial world, they call that arbitrage. I'll take that debt on
Right.
all day long.
I will every day.
Exactly. I even just refinanced a lot of properties last year actually with the pandemic going on, and
Hmm.
my highest interest rate is actually 4.5%. My lowest is 2.375. So you're
Nice.
talking practically, I don't want to say free money, but it's under the rate of inflation. Spread that out over 30 years. I'll take that debt any all day
Yeah, no
long.
kidding. Well, now, as you know, most realtors that are watching this, their eyes have glazed over. It's way too much math.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the one bill at a time strategy that you use, because that is something that even if you're not good at math, you can get this.
Yep. So, and I'm gonna attempt to share my screen
Oh,
here.
hold on,
And
let me give
hopefully,
you
oh, sorry.
access. Let's see. Okay, try now.
Okay, let me use the technology. Let's see.
Yeah, you did it.
Okay, perfect. So this website here is actually my financial education website that I run, wealthandfreedomnexus.com. And if you go slash downloads, otherwise to the far right here, you'll see a little downloads link that you can click on.
Okay.
Over the next few months, I'll be putting more PDFs and resources here. Do have a little PDF that I put together of questions to ask turnkey providers, and also have a little Excel workbook that I put together. I'm not much of an Excel wizard, so I kind of put the basics together, and then I hired a guy on Fiverr to put the formulas and
Formulas,
math together.
nice.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, this is pretty basic. What can you do with it? So,
Right.
so if you go here, just click download here.
Hmm.
See if it opens up. So this is the Excel workbook that will come up. And I'm just going to click on one of the bills after I enable editing. So basically what I've preloaded here is a lot of set recurring monthly bills that, typically bills that, don't stay or stay the same,
Okay.
month in and month out. Kind of back to Dave Ramsey, not to say that everyone needs to, eat just rice and beans every single day for the rest of their life. But
Right.
I think we all know it's like, okay, if I'm eating out too much, hey, I'll cut back, or I
Right.
will, cook at home. I will drive less. I will, uh pandemic year is a little different, but go out
Yeah.
to the movies less. And some of the
Right.
more variable expenses, I mean, think we're all smart enough to know, okay, I can cut back on those.
Hmm.
But if it comes to your rent, your mortgage, your electric bill, your cell phone bill, those aren't exactly like, well, I'm just going to pay Verizon $50 this month and I'll pay the rest later. Or
I mean, that would be
I'm
awesome.
just going to send half my mortgage payment and just
They
let the
don't
bank
like
know the
that.
rest is coming. Right. So,
No.
these are bills, whether it's, $15 or $1,500, they're pretty much, set in place, stay the same month in and month out.
Hmm.
These are just some preloaded ones that I've, inserted that I think pretty much everyone has: their garbage bill, their water bill, their
Hmm.
electric bill. You can actually click on the top corner, hold shift and select them all. When you release the shift button, you also have some blank spots in here.
Okay.
So, well, here's a new one: Disney Plus subscription. I think 10 million people signed up for that last year, whatever
Right.
that
Right.
was. So, and maybe I don't know, maybe you don't have a car payment, maybe you own your car, free and clear. You can hide that as well. And basically what I do is I sit down at least once a year and type out, what are the recurring bills that I pay. So, my car insurance is 200 a month. Netflix, I think it's about $15 a month. Your mortgage, mine currently is 950. Or
That's
home
great.
insurance, property taxes, again, stuff that kind of stays the same.
Okay.
And typically what I try to do, one, obviously sit down. Okay, do I really need this bill? Do I need Hulu, Netflix, CNBC, NBC, ABC, history? All those other channels are kind of maybe cut back on some of that.
Yeah, I like how you
Um,
have the questions in there that you can like
yeah.
be asking yourself. Like those are good. That's good.
Hmm. And basically just, kind of, there's no stupid questions, just kind of, think openly and ask yourself, are there some bills I can eliminate, or what can I
Hmm.
do to reduce it? And I think what a lot of people are surprised with is a lot of people don't sit down and go through their checking accounts, don't sit and look at their credit card statements.
Right.
And, unfortunately, some bills seem to kind of sneak in there and increase. So you got to, stay on top of it. But, obviously electric, you can't necessarily, just say I'm not going to live without electricity necessarily.
Right.
But,
But yeah, I mean, once you get your budget though, because yeah, then what?
right. So then yeah, basically for these columns here, just fill in what's the current payment that I pay now.
Okay.
And then I just kind of brainstorm, car insurance. Well, a lot of people kind of get, I don't want to say in a rut, but they, like their current provider, they've stayed with whoever it is for years and years. Well, maybe it's time to shop around. It's
Maybe.
with an internet, you can get numerous quotes, right
Right.
off the bat.
Right.
Mortgage, rent, rates are historic lows right now. Can you refinance now? And maybe if you can drop your payment from 900 to $800 a month, that frees up
Yeah.
$100 cash
That's
flow,
nice.
right
Yeah.
there. So, and student loan payments, same thing, refinance. What I've started to see more and more, like even with electric and water and sewer, sometimes you just have to ask, but do they have budget billing available? Sometimes that can lower your bills.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Some will even offer if you can pay by a checking account versus credit card. I've even some offer discounts that way as well.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and then from there, I just kind of tackle, I don't know, I just kind of poke out or point out, I should say, Netflix. That seems to be the most common bill I've seen among my friends and, fellow realtors and investors. And, gosh, I can't cut my Netflix. I got to watch
Right.
Orange is the New Black or whatever the new show
Yeah.
is now. And okay, not a problem. But, what's a way that we can pay this bill, passively, not just from our, labor and our, W-2 job or 9 to 5 job or anything like that. So like for me personally, there's actually a couple investment platforms, Fundrise and Reality Mogul, that passive income for me pays my Netflix bill every month. So, yeah, it's only $15 a month, but if I can set up an income stream that's,
So how do
pays.
you think about, okay, so we're new to this,
Sure.
right? And we're like, okay, because you had like every time you listen to the the people that are teaching financial freedom, it's like, okay, what is your monthly, like, what are the totals?
Mm-hmm.
Like $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month,
Sure.
50, like whatever it is, right? And then it's like, okay, getting to that. And that's a very
Mhm.
daunting task. So
Exactly.
this, you're saying like, okay, let's just do it one bill at a time.
Exactly. Just, yeah, whatever that monthly bill is. And again, that typically counts your fixed bills like your mortgage,
Yeah.
but your variable bills as well. And, whether that monthly bill is 4,000 a month or 10,000 a month, it can be very daunting. So, sometimes it just helps to take a step back and, you know, identify the bills individually and kind of
So what are you
achieve.
asking yourself when you're like, okay, well, how do I get $15 a month passively?
Well, and I'm kind of a math nerd, so to speak. So I typically will look at, okay, what's the monthly amount, and say it's $15 a month
Okay.
and times what, 12 months a year. So that's $180 a year.
Okay.
And now if you're going to stick, say some money in a savings account, it gets, thinking get 0.5% now if you're
Yeah.
lucky. So if you take 180 divided by 0.5%, and I just did that wrong here. 180. So if you stick $36,000 in an Ally savings account, that would get you $15 a
Oh,
month in passive income.
okay.
Obviously, that's probably a little too high for most people.
Yeah.
But then if you take it, well, what if there's an investment, maybe a dividend stock, or Realty Mogul is a syndication platform. Last I checked, pays between, I think, 5 and 7%, 8%, I think, with Fundrise. So if I look at, say, 180, I'll say 8%, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about $180 a year at, that would be 8% return. So I would need $2,250 in my Realty Mogul account. That would pay me $180 per year based on an 8% return. So that might be a little
Oh,
bit more palatable
right.
as an investment income stream, versus the $36,000 to stick in a
So, okay,
money
let's
market
let's
account.
stop here because like
Sure.
obviously you understand this a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like a different, could be, it's a different way of thinking. It's like, okay, well,
Mhm.
if you have $2,250, you could be making zero on it. It could just be
Mhm.
sitting in cash. You're not making anything. You could
Right.
have it in like a bank account, like a savings account, but it's probably not really earning much. And in order
Right.
to get 180 a year, you would have to have $36,000 in that account. And we're only talking about 2,200, right?
Exactly.
But what if you put that same 2,250 into like what you were saying, Fundrise, is it Fundrise or whatever, like
Yep.
a different type of account that earns a higher interest rate, could
Mhm.
you then get back that 180? And that's what you discovered you could. So 2,200 is definitely better than 36,000.
Exactly. Well, and
And
kind of a way to think
8% is
about it.
definitely better than a 0.5%.
Exactly. If you're lucky to get 0.5%, that's
Yeah.
the
Right.
trick there. So
Right, right, right. Okay, so let's do one of like maybe a large, like let's do your mortgage. So
sure.
if your mortgage is It might be easier on like $1,000.
Yeah, just to maybe keep it easier here.
Mhm.
So, and yeah, maybe like I said, you could look at refinancing options, but
Sure.
typically mortgage is the largest bill that anyone has,
Right.
or their rent payment, obviously. So $1,000 a month times 12 months would be
12,000.
$12,000.
Mhm.
And I'll just go with easy numbers, a 10% interest rate. So you got to look at an investment that has $120,000. Again, might be pretty substantial and
Mhm, mhm,
hard to have a six-figure amount to stick in a savings account or even a realty mogul account.
mhm,
But that's kind of where I look at real estate investing, passive
mhm,
income from
mhm.
rental properties. Where
Right.
myself right now, one of our properties in Birmingham, Alabama, takes care of our entire state farm bill every month. So,
Nice.
but
That's
yeah, the
awesome.
monthly, last I checked, I think rent's about 930. Subtract out the mortgage, interest, um, property
Repairs,
taxes,
property
insurance, yep,
manager, all that.
PITI,
Yeah.
property management, vacancy, comes to 250 net cash flow. That 250 just goes right to our state farm bill that basically pays all of our insurances. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think what we're talking about here is just I like that it's bite-sized manageable pieces and it's one bill at a time.
mhm,
And it gets you thinking, like, how can you earn money on your money? Because
mhm,
it seems like there's like it's either you're earning barely any or you have to invest in real estate, right?
right.
So it's like, or you're like in the stock market. It seems like very dramatic, but there's a lot of things that are in between
Mhm.
too.
Yeah. And like I said, that's why I kind of start with the Netflix bill. I mean, obviously, if you jump into the mortgage and someone sees $120,000 that someone needs to invest,
Right.
can certainly look a little daunting. But like,
Yeah.
okay, take a step back. Can you create an income stream that's $15 a month? That's maybe
Right.
a little bit more doable than 1,000.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think this is a really great way to start, get your brain opening, start creating wealth for yourself and things like that. That's awesome. If people want to learn more, do you do classes? Are you like, can they hire you? Like, how does it work?
Well, yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, so
Okay.
technically I can't give advice or, you know, for hire or anything like that.
Okay.
I've had people message me, text me, email me, just kind of bounce ideas back and forth. I have done some community ed classes here in Marshall
Okay.
on my own, and I'm currently kicking around possibly doing a podcast and a YouTube channel if I could just
There you go.
find the time to do it also.
This could be your first one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, if people have a referral for you or they want to talk to you about maybe they have an investor client, I think we can stop. We can
Oh,
probably
sure.
stop. There we go. If they have an investor client or they want to refer you a client that's looking to get into investments, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, my name, I'm not too hard to find. So Google, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm the only John Rickgarn on the planet, actually.
Nice.
But you can just email me at john@wealthandfreedomnexus.com is the easiest way to get a hold of me. So
Okay, and that's the website too,
correct. Yep.
wealthandfreedomnexus.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a contact button on there as well. So
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being on. Thanks so much, John.
you bet. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You as well. Thanks, Jennifer.